So this is something that I need to tell you, that landlords are actually liable and they have to comply with 150 different pieces of legislation. So it's quite a hefty number, and that's quite scary. And it's definitely scary as well if you're doing it yourself. So what I thought I would do is I would just touch on 4 of those pieces of legislation this evening out of the 150, mostly because they're quite hot topics at the moment and they're the things that everybody's speaking about, and they're certainly the conversations that we're having with Arla at the moment. So one of them is the Immigration Act 2016, one of them is about council tax, another one is fixed penalty notices and banning orders, and then we're going to talk about EPCs. So just really quickly about kind of all 4 of those subjects. This is another really good one. I'm just full of the joys, I'm really sorry. Fixed penalties, this is a great one. Fixed penalties and banning orders. So this is under the Housing and Planning Act 2016. So landlords and agents can basically have a banning order or a fixed penalty if they're in breach of any of their accountabilities. So things like housing offences, immigration offences, serial criminal offences, and even maintenance issues in the property. If you're breaching any of those under the Housing and Planning Act 2016, again, there are penalties that can be imposed on you. And again, this isn't really new, but what is new now is that the penalties have increased. So they can do fixed penalties on the spot. So the council can come and do fixed penalties on the spot, and it'll be up to you to appeal those penalties. But they can also fine you up to £30,000 now if you're in breach of anything. And you can also go on a banning order. So they've now got a banning order which has been enforced since October last year, which means that you may not be able to act as a landlord, or in my case, act as an agent and earn money from your property for in excess of 12 months. So to be in breach, I mean, they're quite serious offences, obviously, you would need to commit in order to be in breach. But it would be things like unlawful eviction, maybe force against tenants as well, so maybe people that are a bit heavy-handed getting their tenants out perhaps. But even a simpler one, it might be failure to carry out any works which might make the property be in breach of health and safety regulations. You would have to be quite habitual at doing this for them to really clamp down on you, but it's just something to consider. And the reason that I wanted to bring this up today was because the fines used to go to the government, but now the fines are actually going to go into the hip pocket of the council. So all these monies are going to go straight into Brighton and Hove Council. So they're going to start to police it more, and they're going to start to really look at it. When it comes to like the banned agents and the banned landlords as well, they're going to take all the information, the council's kind of access to the TDS, so the deposit companies, and get access of all the landlords' names and the agents' names. So they'll have access to all of your details. So that's how they can find out who's a landlord and who's not, and what properties they've got.